It has been a very long night of painstaking searches in the Bronx for victims in the rubble of part of an apartment building that came crashing down. Late tonight, we got the word. The rubble's been cleared, and the good news, no one was found in all that debris.
But there is new video tonight of the terrifying moments a corner of that building gave way, people running for their lives on the busy street below.
The building's now evacuated. That means nearly 100 people are spending the night in the basement of a nearby school. Good evening, everyone. At 11:31, I'm Bill Ritter.
I'm Sandra Bookman in tonight for Sade. We have 3 reports tonight. Joe Torres with those residents now forced from their homes.
Lucy Yang with a look at the building's opening violations.
And Jim Dolan following a stunning amount of progress in just a short amount of time. Jim is live on the scene in Morris Heights. Jim?
Sandra, witnesses say it wasn't really one collapse, but a series of collapses that started near the top of the building and cascaded down the corner, floor by floor. They say it caused a massive pile of dirt and debris on the ground below, and then a frantic search for survivors in the pile. Firefighters used power saws to slice through the metal debris and searched by hand through the mountain of crumbled concrete that fell to the ground. And above them, firefighters looked into the apartments that had, in a thunderous, earth-shaking moment this afternoon, collapsed.
I just saw everything come down at once, and all I saw was everybody just piling up. There was cars everywhere. I was just confused. It came from the top first, and it just started falling down everywhere. And while time going, the thing just kept falling down over and over again, just keep falling.
I just see a lot of stuff that's falling down. I didn't even know it was the building falling until I really looked, man. And then it was the building that's there like that.
Take a look. Watch the people on the street running from the gathering cloud of dust and smoke kicked up by the collapse. Mary was right there. She said she couldn't even breathe.
My eyes, I couldn't see nothing. My eyes were hurting because the sand was going to my eyes. It was like, I was not really seeing nothing. But it was really bad. I was just thinking about the people that was down there and the people in the building.
Firefighters were there in seconds. They had drones in the air. They brought power saws and pickaxes to claw through the debris. They had robot dogs and real dogs. A dramatic, frantic search for life buried in the pile.
Firefighters right now are in a dangerous position. We don't know what caused this corner of the building to come down, and we don't know if any more of it's going to come down. But we're searching for life, and that's our main objective at this time.
Neighbors were most concerned about the deli on the ground floor of the damaged building, where there are always people, but the mayor said the deli evacuated safely.
Our preliminary information with the owner of the store that everyone that was in the store is out at the time.
And residents escaped the damaged building too.
That is our main objective, is to get to the bottom of that pile. We'll be here until we're down to the street level, just to make sure if there are any victims under there, hopefully we could get to them in time.
Firefighters worked through the night, praying this time to find nothing. After a terrifying afternoon.
I was walking up the block, and then the building just started falling. I was scared. I'm thinking, I hope everybody's okay.
We are back live now with this picture. Look at all of that destruction. This is from a nearby rooftop looking at all of that destruction. Who would have believed at 4 o'clock this afternoon, when all of this started, that it would result in this remarkable number? Zero serious injuries and 0 deaths.
We want to return to that breaking news that we told you about at the top of our show. Significant breaking news. You're looking at Citizen app video of a building collapse that happened just around 3:30 this afternoon. You can see the devastation. Now, this has happened at 915 Billingsley Terrace. This is in the Morris Heights section of the Bronx. but it just looks as though the corner of this apartment building that we understand is about 6 stories tall just fell away and crashed onto the sidewalk down below. At this point, we do not know about any injuries.
Yeah, the damage is very specific. You can see, often when we deal with these building collapses, you might see either the entire structure or a part of the wall. This travels right up the corner of this 6-story apartment building, which I'm sure is going to give immediate clues to engineers and fire department first responders who are there. And they are there. First responders are on the scene, making sure that there's no one trapped in any of that rubble. No word on the people who lived in any of those apartments. This is near dinner time for many people, so it wouldn't be unexpected to have people in those apartments. We have crews headed there as well. And of course, we're going to keep you updated throughout this newscast as more information.
Again, though,
from the former commissioner to the woman who replaced the former commissioner, the current commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh. Commissioner, thank you for joining us with Bill Ritter and Sandra Brooklyn.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you heard your predecessor talk about the drones and the cameras and how much different all this technology is. Explain really what you've seen first, and then second, if you could talk about what the technology is in place right now and how that's helping you.
Absolutely. So I don't think I could say it better than Commissioner Nigro, but they're not the bravest for nothing. Our members are right now. This is a live scene, so I think that's really important to emphasize. This happened not very long ago, and we are still in active search and rescue and recovery mode. And as he mentioned, that is everything from our members putting their own lives on the line, using their hands to go through this rubble, to using all the technology we have available to us, from our drones overhead, our robotics unit that can help us see into areas where there might be a victim that we can't see, as well as with our canine units who help us spot where there could be victims so we can focus on those areas. And then all the specialized training that our members have. We have a rubble pile at our training academy for this very reason. So our firefighters, our EMTs, our medics are all specially trained for this kind of exercise, and they are at work right now using their training.
in a city where the infrastructure, so much of it is aged infrastructure, we've obviously seen a collapse like this before, and that certainly is a concern when you go to a scene like this, that you're dealing with a building that has some years and maybe quite a lot of wear and tear on it.
Yeah, you know, New York City has old housing stock. It's also an incredibly complex and dense city. And then I'd also just remind folks, you know, our first responders go in within minutes, right? So they may only have limited information, but they need to go in right away to try to save lives. So it's a very complex operation for them. They're also highly trained and ready to do so. And certainly, you know, we're praying that if there is anyone inside, that we are able to find them.
Have you gotten any word, Commissioner, as to what the damage may be to things that we're looking to be standing, which may not stand?
So this is unfolding. You know, we do have DOB on scene. As soon as we complete our search and rescue, they will go to work on assessing the building. But right now, all we know is that, you know, this was an active building, a building in use, a mixed-use building with both residential and commercial. And because of that, we're going to presume until we know for certain that someone could be in there, and we're going to keep searching until we've confirmed whether or not that's the case.
You said commercial buildings. Do you know what's on that first floor? Do you happen to know? We don't know yet. We have some.
We believe it's a store of some kind, most likely a bodega.
That's what we saw. We just didn't know whether it was still standing since 2021 and just don't understand what's happening. But what could happen is there might be some people there, and that's what you guys are and gals are trying to figure out, doing it safely. And are you worried for your troops that might be down there? You know, this thing could happen in a flash, right?
Yeah, well, I always worry about my members. They do dangerous work every day. Certainly today is no different. But like I say, they have such incredible training, such incredible professionalism. I know they are going to do this as safely as they can, even in extraordinarily dangerous scenarios, including this one.
Apropos, Commissioner, of you're talking about how old these buildings are and how do you go about, measuring them and judging them every day. There have been 178 violations in the past 2 years. Just on this building alone, we've gotten that from city records tonight. And that's just sort of staggering staggering stat because those are human beings in there. 178 violations. I just ask the people out there, ask you, Commissioner, would you want to live in a building that had that kind of violations and over just a 2-year period?
I think I would just say my members go in no matter the scenario, no matter what the building looks like. And, it's really to them I have to give all the thanks tonight.